So I think that's about it for medical. Kind of next going into, this is kind of going into peers in terms, and when we say peers, not just like peers in general, but just like how to be a good guy, how to like, and you should be, hopefully you're a good guy, but
what'll help you out
Yeah.
going through. And so first thing is just being a team leader as much as possible. That's just being a good team leader. So helping out your buddies who's a squad leader. They tell you once you get to Florida that everybody else gets you your tab, you don't get it yourself, and that is very, very. You didn't think it was true?
No, I think that's okay. It's 100% true.
I was going to say it's 100. I
100%
thought it was
true.
very true. They are basically looking at what everybody else is doing, not really what you're doing. So 100% be a good team leader. When you're a Joe, be a Joe.
Yes.
Follow. Do not complain. When your squad leader asks you or tells you, you gotta dig and name tape deflate. You know you have to do it, so don't complain about it. And when you're a squad leader, you're going to be asking those people to dig as well. So just do what you need to do. Don't whine. It's really annoying. And also during your CASEVACs, just shut up and do what you need to do.
Yeah, I can't agree more. Like, there were so many times where you had too many leaders trying to lead when that's not your job. Like, yes, it may be better to do it this way, but everyone's rallied at the current moment behind this idea. Just do it that way and get it done, and stop making side comments, because it just pisses everyone off. And I'll be honest, it just makes everyone upset with you. Like, everyone just gets really annoyed, and you don't need that at that moment. You need people working together.
If there's an RI around and you're saying, oh, we shouldn't do this is stupid, let's do it a different way, that just looks horrible on the squad leader. If people aren't on board with what you've been telling them, same with the PL. If people aren't on board with what you've been telling them, then it's only going to reflect poorly on them, and they're going to remember that for later.
Yep. There was a kid last year that lost his tab because of it.
I would believe it 100%.
He said by the time he got to Florida, he was so exhausted, physically, mentally, and you shouldn't have to tell somebody to keep your mouth shut.
At that point, you should know, but people, they get snippier as you get in there. It's like, you know what we have to do. This is what we've been doing for 2 months now. But,
And he couldn't keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another one, and this kind of goes into peers, you'll have SI layouts. Now, I bet you remember this from Mountains, because there's a very specific incident I want to mention. But you'll have an SI layout where you lay out all the, your dagger, your weapons, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, you have SI and 100%. 100% is everything they issue you, all platoon equipment. SI is everything with the serial number.
Yep. And don't mess up the SI layout. Don't say, oh, I don't know where the dagger is, when you're the one that had the dagger and you just forgot it's in your pocket.
Yeah.
Like,
if you touched it at all that day, go through all your stuff, because if they can't find it when they're asking for it, one, they'll smoke you, and then they'll make everybody dump their stuff out. And what happened for us, it was raining. It had been raining for about a day, and you're trying as hard as you can to keep all your stuff dry, and then the RIs tell you to dump everything, and all your stuff's wet.
And we both shared this story, and to me it's especially just, I wouldn't say heartbreaking, but I just feel bad, because the kid who did it was someone who was really committed to helping out the platoon, was helping out a lot in terms of creating a good terrain model the day before, was a good guy. He was the FO, I think, and he forgot that he had both daggers. And the dagger is something where it's like, oh yeah, we're going out there to look for this thing. So we dump out all of our stuff in the rain. And eventually he's like, oh yeah, I have the second one. And like,
that made him the target for
everyone.
Everybody hated him after that.
Yeah.
And so he's not a bad person by any means, but he just did something so stupid.
At what point did he realize, was he trying to downplay it?
No,
everyone was telling him that he had both of them. And he's like, no, I don't. Because it was just some argument. It was in the back pouch of the assault pack. He had one like in his flick, and the other was in the backpack of the FO assault pack. And so
this was after 20 minutes of us searching and him like people have gone up to him a couple times saying, hey, you have both daggers. He's like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was downplaying it. I think he genuinely just forgot that he had it.
And just didn't check.
It just didn't check.
Check.
But unfortunately, like, I'm pretty sure he got pierced. That's something people will remember.
Yeah.
I don't know if he definitely didn't. He did not pass mountains with us.
I don't remember if it was for peers.
I don't know if it was for peers or not, but that definitely made him like, everyone was like, man, I hate that guy. It's like, I didn't feel that bad. Was I upset in the moment? Oh yes, very upset.
Yeah.
And some people will hold that against you, and that kind of goes into the next category of kind of like watching what you say. And so, Ranger teaches you a lot of things. I would say one thing is teaching you to work well with others, despite being cold, wet, tired, hungry, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Because their peers, even if they're the worst guy in your squad, their peer matters too. And like, you want to be nice, like, you want to have good relations with everyone, like, work well with everyone.
Just be a good person,
Mm-hmm.
Don't intentionally try and screw somebody over, even if they've screwed you over.
And like, I only say watch what you say because you don't know how other people are going to react, so I can only bring this up as a story. I knew a guy in mountains in my squad who he peered pretty low. I found out afterwards because I was talking to someone else in my squad who was a non-infantry MOS. And I asked him, I was like, oh, I didn't know why he peered so low. And he's like, oh, I peered him bottom. I was like, oh, how come? He's like, well, when I first met him in mountains, he told me I was a fat, lazy tanker.
Oh, shit.
Like, instantly. And I think that kid who said that was trying to make a joke, and it just did not play off very well. But that caused the guy to instantly peer him low, because, like, why would you say that to me when we just met?
Yeah.
So that's why I say watch what you say, because non-infantry guys, they're not dumb. Like, they can...
Yeah,
they're pretty helpful.
For a reason.
They're there for a reason.
They can be better than us, and they're just as helpful, especially, like, your FA guys are great at being FO. Your tankers are good at support by fire and understanding some different movements that we aren't. So
people will remember things, like small things that you say to them, and like that could influence peers when it comes to the end. So just something I just say, be careful of, is thinking about how you're talking to people, how you might be perceived, and stuff like that. So I bring up those examples.
Yeah.
Last thing for peers is Sleepy Ranger. I think it's important to bring up because we had some Sleepy Rangers in our squads, and it honestly made it a lot better if they were very forefront about it. Like, hey, I'm very sleepy. Don't put me in the prone.
By myself. And so you don't. And then you go over, like, you check on... I can't be mad at him if he told me he's a Sleepy Ranger, And so you just keep an extra eye on them. Again, if you are a Sleepy Ranger, just be upfront with it. Tell them, like, I need to be strong pointed to somebody, so that way I have someone to talk to, or... I need to be on a knee. In the RIs, generally, if it's late at night and you're pulling security and you're just on a knee and they come over like, Ranger, why are you on a knee? It's like, because I'm going to fall asleep if I'm not on a knee. Sorry. And they normally just walk away. They know.
He could sleep, I swear to God, in any position in our squad. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. He slept standing up. Like, he was the medic when he was the squad leader, and he's like just bobbing for apples. And come over to him like, hey man, you got to stand up. You're even on a knee. You're falling asleep. And he turns to me and goes, "What are you talking about?" And as he said that, he fell asleep when I was talking to him. So we had that conversation like 3 times before he finally stood up. And he was like, "Oh my God, dude, where's the Tower of Power?" I'm like, "You're at it. You are at the Tower of Power." So yeah, like in the moment, it was still funny to me because like I can't even blame for it, but. Yeah, just if you're sleepy, I kept an extra eye on it because I knew he was a Sleepy Ranger, and he told me that. So, yeah.
Because the RIs can be ruthless about if someone falls asleep on the line. That's like for a squad leader, that's like an instant no-go for the patrol base. You might be able to redeem yourself later on in the day, but like patrol base can be a really easy go.
They will recock that whole patrol base too. We got recocked because somebody didn't have their nods down. It's something as simple as that, and the entire patrol base has to go out, and then we have to come back in and do it all over again. So don't do that specifically, but just if you're a Sleepy Ranger, be honest about it.
And if you get busted by an RI, don't lie to him.
No. Oh, they know. They will be watching you for a solid 2 minutes before they come up to you and ask you for your
Yep.
roster number.
Yep. It's just not worth it. Just own it up.
The first RI actually asked for feedback and advice. That was the first thing he said. He said, "Don't lie to me." I asked him story. He said, if I'm going over and asking somebody if they're asleep, he said, I've been watching them for minutes.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not going over and asking because I think they're asleep.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I know they're asleep.
Yeah.
I have a story where it was in mountains, and we had an RI where I could hear him on the radio talking with the RI to the other patrol base. So it didn't happen in our platoon, but because like 5 minutes earlier we heard 240 go off in the distance. We're like, oh crap, like, hey, radio the platoon, maybe they're taking contact. And we're like, oh crap, we're probably going to take contact from patrol base soon. Doesn't happen. But I hear this RI talking over the radio, and he's like, dude, like, hey, what happened over there? He's like, there was a kid who was asleep on the 240, like horribly asleep. And the RI went up and pulled the trigger on the 240, not just for like a couple like it was a couple, like
A long burst.
it was a long burst
shit.
before the kid like snapped awake. And the RI was like, and the RIs are talking to each other, and he's like, oh, so what did the kid say? The kid said he was praying.
That,
Which is
yes,
even I would argue even worse, because
They don't like when you bullshit them.
that burst went on for long enough. Like, if you were praying, you would have noticed. Like,
that everybody says, if you get caught asleep, just tell them you were praying.
no, don't do it.
Nah.
Because that RI said that he was going to give him a wasn't a major minus or something.
SOR?
I think it was an SOR. Yeah, they're like, dude, you should SOR that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that kid actually got SOR'd, but like,
Yeah, they talk about it.
they talk about it. In going into that, they will go up and shoot the 240 if you're asleep on the 240. That is verifiably a no-go for that squad
That's
leader.
funny as shit.
So
Don't lie to the RIs.
don't lie to the RIs. Don't fall asleep, but make sure your 240's awake, because they will go shoot the 240 off, and if that happens, like, that's...
Yeah. Also, don't get mad at your buddy for waking you up, because that's going to happen. Like, you're strong pointed and you kick your buddy awake, and he's going to be like, dude, I wasn't sleeping. It's like, you were. Like, just own it. We all fall asleep. At your own risk, take shifts. Very much at your own risk, though.
Yeah, that's at your own risk. I thought I was going to do that a lot more, honestly. Didn't really do it that much, but, like, just I got kicked a bunch, and I'm sure at some points I was like, no, I was awake. But, like, you got to be like, thank you.
Yeah.
Just say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, everyone knows that you're suffering. You're not being a bad person by falling asleep. You're
They're trying
going to
to
fall
help.
asleep. Yeah.
Yes.
You just don't realize it at that point.